Okay, picture this. Something goes wrong at work. A process breaks, a mistake is made. In that first, kind of chaotic moment, what's the one question that you always hear, echoing in every meeting and every email? Who did this? It's almost a reflex, right? We want to find the person responsible, point the finger, and, just move on. But what if that very first question is the exact reason the problem is guaranteed to happen all over again? So let's get right into it because that blame game, it hits a huge wall fast. The thing is, in a lot of regulated fields, the authorities straight up will not accept human error as the final answer. It's not just a weak excuse, it's literally an unacceptable one. Look, pointing a finger feels like a quick fix. It feels like you've solved it. But it's a trap, because when you stop at the person, you're totally ignoring all the conditions that let the error happen in the first place. And that means, yeah, you can bet it's going to happen again. So, to break this cycle, we need to completely shift how we think. We have to stop asking who and start asking why. The focus has to move from the individual to the process, the environment, the whole system they're working in. And that brings us to the whole point of this explainer, root cause analysis, or RCA. This isn't just about finding a cause. It's a real method for digging past all the obvious stuff to find that one fundamental reason a problem happened, so you can fix it for good. All right, so how do we actually do this? Let's talk about our first tool. It's all about casting a wide net before we try to zero in. It's called the Fishbone Diagram. The whole goal here is to stop that tunnel vision that happens when a problem pops up, where everyone just jumps to their own pet theory. Instead, this tool makes the whole team take a step back and brainstorm every single thing that could have possibly played a part in the failure. What's so powerful about this is the structure. It gives you these 6 main categories, the bones of the fish, to make sure you don't miss anything. Was it the method, like a flaw in the actual procedure? Was it the machine, maybe some faulty equipment? Or what about the environment, like bad lighting? By making you think about each of these, you make sure no stone is left unturned. Okay, so the fishbone diagram is great for mapping out all the possibilities. But how do you find the real root cause in that big map? Well, that's where our next tool comes in. It's a really simple but super powerful technique for drilling down, the 5 why analysis. And it works pretty much exactly like it sounds. You just start with a problem and you ask your first why. So in our case, why did the deviation happen? The first answer you get is almost always the obvious, surface-level one. A step was missed. Now, a weak investigation would stop right here and just blame the person who missed it. But we're going to keep digging. So we ask, okay, but why was that step missed? Okay, because the official procedure, the SOP, wasn't followed. We're still kind of focused on what the person did, but let's push a little further. And here's the really crucial third question. Why would someone not follow the procedure they were supposed to? Okay, now we are getting somewhere. See, this wasn't just carelessness. It was a lack of preparation. The focus is starting to shift away from personal failure and toward a crack in the system. But we don't stop there. Why was this person ever put in a position to do a job without having the right training for it? Now, the problem is clearly way outside of that one person's control. The training material itself was out of date. This is a process failure, plain and simple. We just have one more question to go. Our final 5th why. This is the one that should get us right to the heart of the problem. And there it is. Boom. The operator didn't fail. The system failed the operator. The real root cause wasn't a person messing up. It was the lack of a basic tracking system. And fixing that system is the only way to make sure this problem never, ever happens again, no matter who's doing the job. That whole journey from a step was missed all the way to we need a tracking system, that's the huge difference between an investigation that just wastes everyone's time and one that actually creates lasting change. So let's just quickly recap what separates the good from the bad. So it really all boils down to this choice. On one side, you have the weak analysis. It just points fingers, doesn't really have any evidence, and basically sets you up for the exact same failure down the road. On the other side, you have a strong analysis. It doesn't care about blame, it demands proof, and it focuses on fixing the system, so the failure just can't happen again. And that really leaves us with one last critical question to think about. The next time something goes wrong in your world, just take a look at the process that kicks in. Is it really designed to fix the underlying systems that are supposed to help people succeed? Or is it just a really efficient machine for finding someone to blame?